Hi, I'm Christian Geha,
I'm Dawn Hill.
And I'm Aaron Casas.
and we're here with James Springer George, also known as Jimmy. He served in the U.S. Army in the 317th Infantry Division of the Artillery during World War II. And we're here on October 23rd, 2014 in Frisco, Texas. And we're going to get started with this interview. Jimmy, where were you born and what year were you born?
I was born March the 9th, 1923.
Where were you born?
Solomon, Missouri.
Okay. Who were your parents and what did they do?
Mother was Ollie George. My father was Lytle. They was farmers.
Did you have any siblings?
I got two kids, a boy, Rusty, and my daughter, Sandy.
Okay. Who were your siblings and what were their names? What did they do?
Pardon me?
Your siblings?
Uh,
What were their names and what did they do?
Your brothers that were in the World War II. The names of your brothers.
My young brother, Bob, was in the Japanese War, and Leo, my older brother, was a pilot in the U.S. Army.
A pilot.
A pilot. What were you doing before you entered the service?
I was worked at Kroger grocery store
Okay. And
back then.
did you enlist?
No, I tried to, but I didn't do it in time, so I was drafted.
Okay. What happened when you left for training camp? Like, what was your experience going to training camp?
Training camp, it was something I never done before. And it was interesting. It was hard, but they needed to teach us how to survive and everything. And it was great.
Do you remember any of your instructors?
Sergeant Ball, I remember him. Tough as could be, but good.
Okay. Did you receive any specialized training?
No.
Just the basics? Okay. How did you adapt to physical, like regiment, food, living? How was it different?
To the army or to the service?
Let's say both. First to the army and then through your service.
It took a while to adapt to it, but after you're in a while, you become used to everything they do. And the service part kind of rough, and it was hard at time, especially the winter time, and stuff like that. I got frostbite from my foot. Had to be off duty for a while, but it healed, and after that it went pretty smooth.
Okay. Can you tell us about getting to Europe? Like, what was your trip like? Where did you land?
How did I get to Europe? I left for New York on the Queen Mary. And it took 7 days. No escort, just the Queen by herself. And we zigzagged like that, so subs couldn't chase us. And we made it in 7 days, ended in Scotland. And then from Scotland, we took a train to England.
What was your passage like from England? Where did you go? You passed through France?
From England, went across the channel to France. When the Normandy, but it was way after D-Day, thanks Lord. It was. And we landed on a boat just like they did to D-Day. And we went up. We first meet the soldiers up there, above us that was there before we was, and we was scared and like that, and they was laughing at us. because they went through the
The same thing.
ordeal.
What are some memories that you have from serving?
Memories,
Mm-hmm.
good or bad?
You can start with the good.
Good memory.
Mm-hmm.
It was we get time off once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
One time we got a week off, and they flew us to England, back to England, and I went to the barber shop to get my hair cut. And sitting to me, I looked over at this guy. He looked at me. I looked at him. I said, Lee. He said, Jim. We went to school together. And we met in England. We met two girls. And he ended up marrying her and brought her to the United States.
It's very exciting. Can you tell us about your experience in France with the family?
Pardon me?
Can you tell us about your experience in France with the family?
Oh, okay. That was great. Let me hold it up. We had a few days off from battle, and they said these French family are wonderful with GIs. They took us in, and first bath I had in I don't know how long, and they fed us. I was about 3 days there, and her parents was great, wonderful, and she wrote my mother a letter, and my mother never did write back. So I found this letter about a month ago, and I wrote her to her and her family, and she got the letter after 74 years. And I thought that was very interesting during my time over there.
And Jimmy, she still
Very
lives in
much
the same
appreciated.
house? She still lives in the same house,
Yes,
right?
still live in
Yeah.
the same house.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's pretty good. Can you tell us about some bad experiences?
Bad experience? My worst experience was I was on this cannon 105 house. It's made to shoot over the soldier and shoot the enemy. And one day, a German tank ran through our lines and come at us, and we had to lower our gun and shoot direct to it. It wasn't made that way to shoot direct. And lucky, a couple of shots, we hit the tank. And I hate to say that, and they got out, and they said, comrade, and we shot them right there. We shot them.
How did you feel about seeing casualties and so much destruction?
Pardon me?
How did you feel when you went through that, about seeing destruction and casualties? How did
Well,
you?
it kind of hurt us a little bit. But being under Patton said when he came in, he wanted to talk to us GI, she said. Now, I don't want any soft hand sissies in my outfit. I don't want any SOB in my company.
Okay. Did you make any friends while you were there?
Oh yeah, made a couple of friends, real good friends. One was Smitty, a medic, and the other one was Earl Engel. Smitty lived in Washington D.C. and Earl lived in Indiana. And after the war, I went to Washington and saw Smitty there one time.
Okay. So you guys all three of you made it back home?
Yeah, all three made it back home.
Okay. How did you stay in touch while you were there with your family?
Mostly by letter is all.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And what did you do for like fun while you were off duty there?
Off duty? During the war or after the war?
During the war. Like when you got some time off, what did you do for fun?
Well, most of that's all I remember. That one trip to England, and then meeting a French girl and her family.
Okay.
She
Where-
was 14 and I was 21 at the time.
Where were you when the war ended?
I was in Austria.
And how did you react to that?
Praise the Lord. I got a picture. I couldn't find it. We sat on the stool, and this big picture said, "The war's over." I wish I had that to show you, but it was some experience. And go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask you, like, when the war ended, how did you and the German soldiers interact?
Great. Second day after the war ended, two Germans were walking down the street where we was at, and we went up to it and we shook hands. And
And it was just simple.
So
It was okay.
we was okay, we was friends, and the war was over. And we shook hands, and God bless each other.
How long did you stay in Europe after the war?
About 3-4 months.
Okay.
There wasn't no hurry to get us home.
What did you
They
do?
got us over in a hurry, but slow to get us home.
What did you do while you were there for those 3-4 months?
Ended up, I was in Austria, so I went to Obermagall, and that's where they had the Passion Play every 4 years. I don't know if you heard of that or not. Every 4 years they have Passion Play, and this people in the city is the only one can be to show in the play. They do a wonderful job, and they also was able to go skiing in the Alps a few days.
Okay.
Time off.
How did you get back home?
On a slow boat to China. On an LST, they only held about 18 people, 1,800, I think.
Okay.
And it took us 18 days to get back. I was on the water during Christmas.
Oh. And you said you missed the celebration coming home.
Pardon me?
You missed a celebration in your hometown coming home. Can you tell us about
I missed, yeah. If I was on a troop train in St. Louis, Missouri, and it just sat there. They wouldn't let us off. It was almost midnight. If I made it home, it'd be New Year's Eve, but I didn't make it in time. Got home the next day.
And you said they were having a celebration for World War II veterans. That's the one that.
Not a whole lot then.
No.
Celebration.
Okay.
No.
How did your family and your community receive you?
How the family,
And your community receive you when you got home?
well, initially it was good to see them, and I went back to work for Kroger for a couple of months. Then I moved to Dallas, from Sullivan to Dallas, and I went into tile business, and actually only had about 3 jobs in my whole lifetime.
That's really good, actually. How did you readjust? Like, did you have a hard time readjusting?
I do what?
How did you readjust? Was it hard or was it easy?
How did you get used to civilian life? Pretty good. But it seemed like on 4th of July, when the firecrackers go off, it kind of upset me. Because the German had the German 88 gun. We could hear it coming over. Zoom, 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 zoom. It was a scary sound.
Have you remained in contact with other veterans?
Veterans? No,
No.
I did right after the war. I did. Not now.
Are you in any organizations, like veterans organizations?
No, I
No.
was with veterans for a while, but I dropped out.
Okay.
The veteran department.
Okay. Do you want to tell us about your medals?
It's just regular metal. This is the insignia on my uniform, show what the company I was in, and this is good conduct, and this is the battle I was in: France, Germany, Switzerland, and Austria, and that's it. This is Rifleman. Everybody got one of those. And this is the different battle I was in. 4 stars, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good conduct medal. And that's about it.
Okay. And then, can you tell us about these things on the table? The gun.
The gun? Well, after the war was over, they didn't need it anymore. So I packed it up along with the German Luger and sent it home. And along with that dagger, I came home. It got home safely. But main thing, I found a bunch of dishes for my mother, china dishes, and it didn't get home.
Oh.
That was disappointing.
But the gun made it home? The gun made it home?
Yes.
Yeah. And then the knife.
Yeah. The other weapon.
Yeah. I'll put this out.
Okay. Okay, Jimmy, you want to tell us about the knife? The story behind that?
The German officer carried this on their uniform on the hip all the time, and it just was. I never saw him use it or anything. And after the war, we gathered this stuff up, like I say, I had to send home. But I don't know history, if it ever killed any GIs or not, I don't know. It could have. Stars and Stripes, it came out in Europe, all the GIs got it, Thunderbird. And this is my infantry division that wrote about 317, 4th through the drive through France, Luxembourg, Germany, and Austria. And it is news of what happened, and they even have a cartoon on it for some soldier, and it just tells about the battle we're going through, and we once a month we got it in the newspaper.
Okay, so all the servicemen,
All
they
the
served this
servicemen.
once a month.
All the service.
Okay, and was this just during World War II, or did they continue this after the war?
A little while after the war, they continued about 2 years, and that's about all.
Okay.
Tried to keep up with the soldier.
Okay. Okay, Jimmy, I've got some of your memorabilia here, and can you tell us about this? It came from France.
French mark. I don't know how much it's worth in all money, but this is I got from the German family. They showed me their money they was using, and this is the one right there.
Now,
They use it.
was it a German or a French family that you got that from?
It's French.
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 Okay.
The family was French then.
Yeah, French family that, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you brought that home, and you don't know how much that would have been worth?
No, on
back then?
$5, I imagine it worth about,
$5 maybe?
no,
No?
I think about $2.50 is an odd number.
Okay.
They're lower.
Okay.
About
Okay.
$2.50.
Okay. Okay, Jimmy, can you, we've got some very interesting photos here. And these are of the German prisoners.
German prison that was given up. I see that you got their,
Yeah.
got their hand over their head.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recall where you were at when you guys took these, when you took these prisoners?
It, I'm thinking it was in Austria.
Austria?
That's when they began. So in France, they didn't surrender much. As Luxembourg and Austria, they began surrender.
Okay.
And
Luxembourg is where they
Luxembourg.
started surrendering.
Yeah, Luxembourg.
And that would have been towards the end of the war, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the end of the war.
Okay. Okay, Jimmy, here's
1944.
another photo that you've got in your collection. Can you tell us about that photo?
This is what we're looking for every day. This is mail call. And we're looking for letters from home.
I
And-
bet you
and-
really appreciate those
And we
letters when you're
appreciate
that
it.
far away from home.
And some soldiers, they didn't get a letter. They're so disappointed. But usually I got a letter about once a month.
Once a month?
Uh-huh.
Were those letters from your mom? Or?
Yeah, from mom and my family, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we've got one more picture here, and I'll let you tell about that.
All right, this is also the same. This is mail call again, a different time,
Yeah.
a different different week. Yeah, this mail call.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like at one time you get to relax a little,
Yeah, yeah.
enjoy
Relax,
yourself, and that
yeah,
was
relax
during mail
time, yeah.
call. Yes. Yeah.
When once in a while we was able to get a warm meal.
Mhm.
Can the truck come up and give us a warm meal? And coffee was in a metal cup. You probably
Mhm.
seen them before.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And we couldn't wait to get a cup of coffee. And it's time to pour it in that metal cup. It was cold.
Oh.
It didn't last long.
Now, was this the U.S. Army that was supplying your food?
Doing it, yeah.
Okay.
U.S. Army.
And
When we could.
with how many times a day would the truck come around?
Whenever they could, not very often.
Not very often.
No. We had K rations most of the time.
K rations.
K ration, yeah.
And what are K rations?
A little package with crackers in it and a little can of fish, or tuna, and a metal can, and very, very light, but nourishment to carry through until we got a meal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody had one every day.
Every day.
Uh-huh.
So how many times a day would the truck come around?
For food, not very often.
Not very
Just
often.
whenever a little lower in the battle, then the food wagon would catch up with us and serve us a warm meal.
Okay.
Okay. So sometimes you would only get like one ration a day.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes.
One ration a day. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many hours did you usually get of sleep?
How many hours
Of sleep?
did it do what?
How many hours of sleep?
Oh, what? I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Probably not many.
Not many. You probably sleep when you could, you know.
Did you ever fall asleep while you were on duty?
No,
No.
no.
No. What's the longest period of time that you were on duty?
I guess about 3 days on duty. Well, without a break.
Oh,
Yeah, about
And-
3 days. Steady.
wow. Wow. Ah,
But a lot of, I can't remember even, you know.
yeah,
A lot happened that
yeah,
I
yeah.
wish
It's a
I
long
could
time ago.
I can't remember everything about it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't
It's
remember.
a long time ago. Where would you sleep? Did you have tents with cots
No,
No?
we just slept where we could.
with a
Uh-huh.
sleeping
yeah,
bag
yeah.
and
Sleeping
pillow?
bag.
Sleeping bag.
Sleeping bag. Uh-huh.
And what kind of
Winter.
temperatures was the weather over there?
Summer wasn't bad, but winter was awful bad. You could see. We had to dig foxholes
Hmm.
sometime, and it was real cold.
You don't remember the temperatures? Would it be maybe 0 or
It was freezing.
freezing?
Zero, uh-huh.
Freezing. Yeah.
Did it snow often?
It would snow a whole lot
Yeah.
in wintertime. A lot of snow. Yeah. Actually, before I went to service, I went to Michigan, trained for ski patrol,
Hmm.
and they never did put it out again. I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't have it,
Yeah.
but when a ski patrol, I thought that would be fun, interesting, to learn how to ski.
Uh huh.
But all they teach us had snowshoes on, show how to walk in the snow,
Oh, okay.
And that's all they taught
Yeah.
you.
and put the ski on and show how to stand on ski without sliding down the hill.
Uh huh.
So how to walk in them, but we never did get to ski.
Oh.
Didn't get ski. And they didn't. That outfit, they changed me to artillery anyway. So
Yeah.
I got out of this
And went to
snow
arch-
patrol.
Out of snow patrol.
Mhm.
But you did learn how to ski after the war was over,
Yeah,
up in the.
yeah, it was up in
The Alps.
Zeus pit, they call it.
Hmm.
You get on the train and you go up the mountain into this cave and came out in the beautiful snow on the other side
And where was this at?
in Austria.
Austria.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
beautiful snow up there, and we got skiing.
Hmm. Wow.
And over there about 4 months or so before we came home.
Yeah.
Long time,
Yeah.
but we found a lot to do after the war was over. It was
Yeah.
interesting. How
Now, what would you do for the holidays? Because I know you were over there during the holidays in the war. Did you have no celebrations for Christmas or anything?
no,
No?
we'd celebrate Christmas, but we probably were in the middle of a battle and stuff,
Mhm.
so we couldn't celebrate much.
And the civilians weren't celebrating over there either because it was
No, they
wartime?
wouldn't celebrate much. No,
Because it was wartime.
because wartime, they wasn't celebrating.
Right. So,
Mm.
did they do anything for you during Thanksgiving for the troops?
When the war was over, it was
Right.
good. We had big meals,
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I wasn't over there during Christmas. I was on the ship coming home during Christmas.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
As I said, 18 days coming home and 7 days going over there.
And 18 days
They were
coming home.
glad to get us over there.
Mm-hmm.
But it-
Take your
Take the
time
time.
getting you home.
Take enough time getting us home again.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the Army for you.
Okay, Jimmy, can you tell us about the Queen Mary?
Queen Mary was in the time was a luxury ship, and they transferred over to troop ship, and a whole division could get on at one time, plus a bunch of Air Force and a bunch of medical nurses was on the ship. It was crowded, and we could sleep anywhere we could, mostly on the deck, on the floor.
Okay.
and it was a big ship, and one day it was rough, it could be, and you wouldn't think it would bother that big ship, but water would come over the bow.
Oh, really?
And walking down the hallway, you go up the hill and down the hill. I got sick one day. Down
Seasick.
there. It just rolled like
Oh, yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And after the war was over, they docked it in what was it?
California?
What was that? They docked that. The docked in California.
California.
And my wife and I, we went up there, and it was open as a hotel then. And we spent 3 days on the ship. Again, I'm glad my wife got sick. Ship I went on.
Yeah.
And we was in the Eisenhower suite.
Wow. Yeah.
Queen Mary,
Yeah.
Eisenhower, who was the leader? Queen Mary, Eisenhower, and our president suite.
Mm-hmm. In the presidential suite.
Yeah.
Did it bring back any memories of the war?
Oh, it did.
Yeah. So how many years was that between the time that you went over there in the war and the time that you got to revisit it with your wife?
It had to be about 1965. I think it was.
Okay.
When war was
Okay. So
that. As long
For
time
about
ago.
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was quite an experience. I got one souvenir from it. I got a little key about that big to one of the table dressing cabinets.
Okay.
I stole it. It's so tiny. I got it on a key ring somewhere. So stole it. But that was nice. Be able to spend a lot on that.
Wow.
I heard they just sold it for so many $1 million.
I bet they.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is an American landmark.
Million
Yeah.
bought it.
Okay, so Jim, how did you get this flag?
After the war was over, we went all the buildings that was hanging on, we jerked them down and destroyed most of them. But I decided to send one home to show what the American soldier went through to get it. It's just wonderful seeing the Nazi, but it's the United States. It's done me a thing. Done me a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Jimmy, how old is this flag? And this was original German
The original
swastika.
one, I got it in 1945. I got it,
Okay.
and it was probably made 20 years before that. So it's got to be over 100 years old.
Okay. And tell us how you got it home.
I shipped it home by mail.
Through the U.S.
along with
Post
my,
Office?
Guns and souvenirs. Yeah.
Okay. So back then you were allowed to mail stuff home.
Yeah, mail, guns, anything through the. yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
that picture is you carrying the flag?
That is picture of one of those flags, swastika,
Okay.
and
Was that the day that you got it, that you came across the flag?
yeah, one
Yes.
day.
Was that the day that you found the flag or
Yeah, it's about the same day.
and
yeah.
took the picture and then shipped it home?
Then we pulled it down and here.
Okay.
And you said earlier that you served under Patton?
Yes, I did, and I'm proud of it. He was a very hard general to work under, but he got the job done, he was under Eisenhower's command, and Eisenhower did things that he didn't like, and sometimes he would go on his own and do it anyway.
Okay.
So he did what he wanted, and during the Battle of the Bulge, Eisenhower asked Phil Montgomery to come around the flank, and during that time, all the gas and ammunition was going to Montgomery, and Patton ran out of gas for a while. His tanks couldn't move, but finally they broke through and able to get the convoy trucks back to him, and we got gas again and keep on going.
So you were actually in the Battle of the Bulge?
In the Battle of the Bulge,
Okay.
yeah.
Did you?
One thing in the Battle of the Bulge, we drove in there at nighttime
Okay.
and said, "Be careful of booby traps." And next morning, we didn't hit a one. And next morning, they was everywhere, and we missed them.
Really? Oh, what kind of booby traps were there?
Bombs in the ground that goes off.
Okay, so mines?
Uh-huh,
Or
mine.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
When the movie Patton came out,
Uh-huh.
did you go see it?
I did.
And what do you think? What was your opinion of it?
I thought it was great, all but one thing. He visited the hospital, and that was during the war. GI was in the hospital, battle wounded, what do you call it, fatigue, battle fatigue.
Okay.
And he went in and said, "We need you on the front line." He slapped him right there. And then he was in trouble over that a long time.
So, do you feel that the movie was accurate or not
It
accurate?
was accurate.
It was
I think
accurate?
so, yeah.
Okay.
He did do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Anything
Okay.
else?
Go ahead and turn it
Also want to, I got another story about Patton. Can I
off.
tell
Okay,
Okay, yeah,
go,
sure, go ahead.
Go right
Now,
ahead.
it's,
Yeah.
I got a picture to show you. Yeah. When the war was over, he got off the Jeep and walked across the pontoon bridge of the Rhine River.
Okay.
And halfway across the Rhine River, he relieved himself and urinated in the river. And that's what he thought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are there any more stories that you can remember about Patton?
No, but
No.
I just saw him briefly.
Yes.
It was a big apple. I just saw him in the Jeep one time go by.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And about all I know about Patton, but he's a pusher.
Okay.
He just kept on pushing.
How did your wartime experiences affect your life?
Right after it over, it was kind of rough to get used to, but that was in 1946, and now this is 20 and 15 almost, and during the year I deal with it and everything is normal now. It doesn't bother me.
Except for your hearing?
Yeah.
You had some
It's
damage to
my
your hearing?
Yeah.
Yes. And you want to tell us about
My
the hearing?
hearing, I was on the gunner on this 105 Howitzer, and I was one that pulled the Langren, and we didn't hear one ear, I could hold the other one. We didn't have ear stopper like they have today,
Yeah.
the earplug. So it kind of affected my ear a little bit.
What are some life lessons you learned from the military service?
Discipline, how to treat your fellow soldier, and I think it's a good experience for any young person to be in the service. I do.
How has your military service impacted your feelings about war and the military in general?
Since I was in World War II, I feel if we have to go to war, it's a must. So we have to just thank God and be with it and go with Him. Go with our leaders.
What message would you like to leave for future generations who will view or hear this interview?
As I said, I think before, it's good for any young person to join the service, and they would be very much appreciated by the whole world, especially the United States. How we try to protect the other country, and I think we need to understand how it is that we are Americans.
Is there anything you feel like we haven't discussed or should be added to this interview?
Not a whole lot. That I appreciate the opportunity of doing this, and I hope that what I've had to say would help other soldiers, whoever will see this. But that's about it.
Well, Jimmy, I want to thank you for this interview. And we were very, very lucky to find you. There's not very many World War II veterans left. Most of them have passed away. We were very lucky to get you, and that you have all this wonderful memorabilia. And we want to thank you for the interview and all the historical information that's going to go down in the archives of the United States. And it will be there from now on for your family and historians in the future to come back and research. And we thank you very much, and we thank you for your service to our country.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.